my artless Japanese way, why it is that I'm so much more attractive than anyone else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature and take after my mother. The sun whose rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory does not deny his majesty, he scorns to tell a story. He don't exclaim, I blush for shame, so kindly be indulgent, but fierce and cold in fiery gold, he glories all effulgent. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know the sun and I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know our worth, the sun and observe his flame, that placid flame, the moon's celestial highness. There's not a trace upon her face of diffidence or shyness. She bore us light that through the night mankind may all acclaim her. And truth to tell, she lights up well, so I for one don't blame her. Ah, pray make no mistake, we are not shy. Yes, everything seems to smile upon me. I am to be married today to the man I love best, and I believe I'm the very happiest girl in Japan.
The happiest girl, indeed, for she is indeed to be envied, who has attained happiness in all but perfection.
In all but perfection.
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact that your husband is to be beheaded in a month is, in its way, a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
I don't know about that. It all depends.
At all events, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. Oh, bless you. It all depends.
Well, I think it very indelicate of you to speak of such a subject on such a day. I mean, if my married happiness is to be cut short. Cut short in a month. Can't you let me forget it?
Yum Yum in tears, and on her wedding morn.
Yes, they've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, we've been reminding her that you're to be beheaded.
It's quite true, you know. You are to be beheaded.
Humph. Now, some bridegrooms will be depressed by this sort of thing. A month. Well, what's a month? Bah, these divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Then we'll efface it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, each day a year. At that rate, we have about 30 years of married happiness before us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
My, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. Let's not be downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Yes, certainly. Let's all be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry.
Quite ridiculous. Brightly dawned the wedding day.
Joyous are we give thee greeting, with our hearts all fleeting. Fickle moment, really stay. Fickle moment, really stay. What though mortal joys be hollow? Let us come with sorrows home. Though the toxins all their own.
Go on. Don't mind me.
I'm afraid we're distressing you.
Never mind. I must get used to it. Only please, do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. Let me get used to that first.
Oh, wouldn't you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
Oh, no. I must learn to bear it. Now, oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
I'm much obliged to you. Now. Kesa! Thank you! This is simple torture.
Come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month. Oh,
No. It's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
My child. My poor child. How shall I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
was to have been?
Yes. You never can be mine.
I'm so glad.
I just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
But whom did you get that from?
Oh, from Pooba. He's my solicitor.
But he may be mistaken.
Oh, so I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They were all of the same opinion. Never knew such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
But stop a bit. This law has never been put in force.
Not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation. And married men never flirt. Here, you, out.
Of course! They don't! I quite forgot that. Well, I suppose I may take it that my dream of happiness is at an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish. And I love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I shall ever love anyone else half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, my own, I had no idea. Pet. That I should have to be buried alive in a month.
Nor I. It's the first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference, of course.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I insist on your carrying out your promise, I doom you to a hideous death. If I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Oh! Here's a hearty do, if I marry you. When the time has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a hearty do, here's a hearty do.
Here's a pretty mess.
Oh!
In the month or less. I must die without a wedding. Let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Oh! Here's a pretty mess. Oh! Here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things. To her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion. Burial it brings. Here's the state of things. Here's the state of things.
With a passion takes
I worship and adore, but the laws of common sense we ought to ignore. If what he says is true, she's dead to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things. Here's a pretty how-do-do. Here's a pretty state of things. A pretty state of things. Here's a how-do-do. Here's a how-do-do.
Here's a how-do-do.
For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty state of things.
Oh, dear.
Who choreographed this? Here's a pretty howdy-do.
My poor boy. I'm really very sorry for you.
Thanks, old fellow, I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
I quite see that.
I can't conceive anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken up at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of a wedding. You shall come to mine.
That's awfully kind of you. But that's impossible.
Myself.
Today I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without Yum Yum. This afternoon I perform the Happy Dispatch.
Ah! No. Pardon me, I can't allow that.
Why not?
Why? Hang it all. You're under contract to die by the hand of the public executioner in a month's time. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I shall have to be executed in your place.
It would certainly seem so.
Oh, now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes. The Mikado, yes.
He's coming to see whether his orders are being carried out. Now look here, you. This is getting serious. A bargain's a bargain, and you really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor and a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously by the hand of the public executioner.
Very well, then. Behead me.
What, now?
Certainly, at once.
Chop it off, Coco! Chop it off!
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Why? I've never even killed a blue bottle.
Still, as Lord High Executioner, you are required to chop...
My good sir, as Lord High Executioner, I gotta behead him in a month.
Oh.
I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done.
Oh.
I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the animal kingdom until I come to a second trombone. Why? You don't think that as a humane man, I'd have accepted the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought the duties purely nominal?
What?
I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Come, come. My poor fellow, we all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. After all, what is it? If I don't mind, why should you? Sooner or later, it must be done.
My bastard! Oh. Must! I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? Here are plenty of witnesses. Lord Chief Justice, Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
But where are they?
There they are. They'll all swear to it.
Won't you?
Am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Why not? You'll be grossly insulted, as usual.
Will the insult be cash down or Commonwealth Bank card?
It'll be a ready money transaction.
Well, it will be a useful discipline. Oh, very good. Choose your fiction, and I'll endorse it. Ha, family pride. How do you like that, my buck?
But I tell you, life without a Yum Yum will be
Yum. Bother Yum Yum. Here. Commissioner.
Oh, yes.
Go and fetch Yum Yum.
At once, yes.
Take Yum Yum and marry Yum Yum. Only go away and never come back again.
There he is, there.
Yes, she is. Yum Yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
You've 5 minutes to spare.
Yes.
Then go with His Grace the Archbishop of Titipu, and he'll marry you at once.
But if I
But
can't
don't ask questions, but do as I tell you, and Maggie Poo will explain all.
Yes, but one moment.
Oh, here comes the Mikado. No doubt about the taking
Yes,
of
but-
his degree.
Yes, I know.
If he finds you alive,
Yes,
I spend the greatest
no.
difficulty in persuading him that I beheaded you. Oh, sting that! For here he comes!
Particularly correct.
But they're nothing at all compared with those of his daughter-in-law elect. Oh, to his daughter-in-law elect.
To his daughter-in-law elect. Fatherly kind of way, I govern each tribe and sect, all chiefly in nice way.
Except his daughter-in-law elect, as tough as a bone, with a will of her own, is his daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light, I freedom from all defect.
He's insignificant quite, compared with his daughter-in-law elect. To his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, to his daughter-in-law elect. Oh, you may Mikado never did in Japan exist. Nobody second, I'm certainly reckoned a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make to some extent each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My optical sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. For prosy down society sinners who chatter and beat and bore, are sent to his servants from mystical Germans who teach from 10 till 4. The amateur turner whose vocal villainies all desire to shirk shall during off hours exhibit his powers to madden till souls wax work. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains her grey hair green is taken to Dover and painted all over. A Yankee ultramarine, the idiot who in railway carriages scribbles on window panes. No punishment finer than to eat in the diner on government transport trains. My optical sublime, I shall achieve in time. Let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent countless claws. His teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The music hall singer attends a series of masses and fugues and hops. By market to warblers for a bedroom in the classical Monday pops. The billiard sharp whom anyone catches his doom's extremely hard is made to dwell in a padded cell, securely locked and barred, and there he plays extravagant matches in Bedlam's hallowed halls, on a cloth untrue, with a twisted cue, and elliptical billiard balls. My object sublime, I shall achieve let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make his prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I guess the object of your Majesty's visit, your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Oh, yes. The coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate of his death.
Yes.
Ethne Apt. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, the Secretary of State for the Home Department, Lord Mayor, and groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
A very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
Oh, a tough fellow he was, too. A man of tremendous strength. His struggles were terrific. It was really a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and guggled, I drew my spinning Mason Oh, never shall I forget the cry of the shriek that you read. As I gnashed my teeth when from amid sheath I drew my syndicas.
He always tries to marginalize, and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to brace his nerve. For he nodded his head and kissed his hand, and he whistled an air, did he, as the sabre true cut cleanly through. Oh! His cervic vertebrae, his vertebrae. Oh! When a man's afraid, a beautiful lady's a cheering sight to see.
on its neck with a smile well bred, and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent offhand nods, but as humble as can be, for it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. Of pedigree. And it's, oh, I vow this deathly vows a tragic sight to see. But though trackless yet, it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
Before she used his face, and in his face, rather to rest, exactly as he says, exactly, 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 exactly as I said.
Oh, this is very interesting, and I should like to have seen it. But we came a totally different matter.
Oh, let's go and see Crocodile Dundee.
Did you man upon quite pain? Home! A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him. Yet he fled.
I am surprised that he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
Now,
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are still unenlightened. Learn then that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
it is. God, it is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays, on presentation of visiting card.
God.
As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of...
Nanki Poo!
Nanki who?
Nanki Poo.
Ooh.
Well, it's quite easy, really. That is, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Queensland.
What's the matter?
See here, his name, Nanki Poo. Beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear. This is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan!
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion. No.
Of course you hadn't. How could you? Come, my dear fellow, don't distress yourself. It was no fault of yours. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, he must take the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on with him. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged, Your Majesty.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Oh, very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
Well, of course, we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
No, it wasn't.
It might have been on his pocket handkerchief.
Yes.
Oh.
The Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent. Yes. Something lingering, with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous, but lingering. With either boiling oil or...
Melted lead.
Melted lead. Come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
Your Majesty will accept our assurance. We had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says, accomplishing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. However, cheer up, it'll be all right. I'll have it altered. Next session. Let's see about your execution. Would after luncheon suit you? Could you wait till then?
Oh, yes. We can wait till then.
Good. Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances. See how the fates their gifts are lot, for A is happy, B is not, yet B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is B more worthy?
I should say he's worth a great deal more than A.
Yet A is happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, jumping, ha ha, making, popping, ha ha ha. Ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving A. Ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving If I were fortune, which I'm not, B should enjoy his happy lot, and A should die in misery. That is assuming I am B.
But should A perish,
That should be, of course, assuming I am B. B should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, jumping, ha ha, like a puppy, ha ha ha. But then to die is he, wretched meritorious be. But then to die is he, wretched meritorious be.
Dear pity.
Well, a nice mess you've got us into. With your nodding head and the deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely corroborative detail. Intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail, indeed. Corroborative fiddlesticks.
And you're just as bad as he is, with your cock-and-up bull stories about catching his eye and whistling in air. But that's so like you. You must put in your oar.
And what about your big right arm?
Yes, and your snickersnee.
Indeed.
Well, never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanky Poo hasn't started yet. Now, he must come to life again at once.
Oh, no, don't be ridiculous. That's Nanky Poo.
Here he is!
Will you stop ringing the bell? Stop!
Nanky Poo! I've good news for you. You're reprieved.
Hey, but you're too late. I'm a dead man, and I'm off for my honeymoon.
Oh, nonsense. A terrible thing has just happened. It seems that you're the son of the Mikado.
Yes, but that happened some time ago.
Is this a time for airy persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father, and with Katisha?
Yes, he wants you particularly.
So does she.
Oh, but he's married now.
What has that to do with it?
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she will insist upon my execution. But if I'm executed, Mrs. Pooh will have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Oh, yes. I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you could persuade Katisha to marry you, she would have no further claim on me. And in that case, I could come to life without any fear of being put to death.
I marry Katisha?
I really think it's the only course.
And my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
That's only her face. She has a left elbow. People come miles to see.
What?
I'm told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart upon any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to remain a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers in spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, breathe promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
Ah! The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, And that's what I mean when I say or I sing. Oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, oh, bother the flowers in spring.
Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
the maiden die, may not a cheated maiden die. The miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues. They are heating the cauldron.
Punisher, behold a suppliant at your feet. Punisher, mercy.
Mercy? Had you mercy on him? See here, you. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead. And where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through the weary round again, and at the same time implore mercy for you who robbed me of my prey? I mean my pupil, just as his education was on the point of completion. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here. Here.
What?
Punisher, for years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills at your tiniest touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust I have endeavoured to conceal a passion whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction, and, breaking forth, all the more eagerly for its long restraint, declares it having worth that will not be weighed, that shall not be schooled, that shall not be too severely criticized. Katisha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it. Darling!
Oh! You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart.
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave. Then he plunged himself into the billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did. And you will know why, though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. It's an affecting tale, and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? He must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Oh, poor little chap. And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once!
Oh, no, you mustn't. Anything but that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me if I'm just a little teeny weeny wee bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Hate you? Ha ha! Oh, Conductor, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea, exactly. There is beauty in the banner of the blast. There is grandeur in the crowding of the gale. There is eloquent outpouring when the lion is roaring, and the tiger is a lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when lashing of his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendor that is grand, and earthquakes only terrify the dolls. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If life is so single, all day and seven of day, I'll taste so hot. I will go and merrily, merrily, no totally, tally, so day is done. There is beauty in extreme old age. Do you fancy you're elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting is a maiden all the better when she's tough.
Oh, that's my opinion. It's a general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Or won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed? Ah!
To the matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed. If that is something that is unmerry and saving and merry, I'll taste someone. Away we go and merrily, merry, no tarry, tarry, today is done. If that is something that is unmerry and saving and merry, I'll taste someone. Away we go and merrily, merry, no tarry, tarry, today is done. Sing, put it down, put it in, put it in. again, sir.
Now then, we've had a capital lunch, and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made? Your Majesty, all is prepared. Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Yashai Kawaisona Inoyo! Chop, chop!
Mercy! Mercy for Coco! Mercy for Pity Sing! Mercy even for Pooh Bah!
I beg your pardon. I don't think I quite caught that remark.
Mercy even for Pooh Bah!
Mercy! My husband that was to have been is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar!
I see. But my difficulty is, as you have slain the heir apparent,
The heir apparent is not slain.
Oh.
bless me heart, me son.
Hello, Daddy.
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Oh! Traitor! You have deceived me!
Yes, you deserve a little explanation, but I think you do it better whole than in pieces.
Yeah.
Your Majesty, it is true that I stated that I had killed Lanky Poo.
Yes, with most affecting particular.
Oh, merely corroborative detail, intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise, I'm afraid, bald and unconvincing.
Will you refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. When Your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically it is done, because Your Majesty's will is law. Your Majesty says, kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed. Consequently, that gentleman is as good as dead. Practically he is dead. And if he is dead, why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
For he's gone and married Yum Yum. Oh, and you'll be merry, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb. Show an expression of glee.
On this subject, I pray you be down. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is no. You've a very good bargain in me.
On this subject we pray you be down. We think you had better succumb. The laws of the fish in the sea, there are laws for the fish in the sea. The laws of the fish in the sea, the laws of the fish in the sea,
The threatened cloud has passed away. The night may come too soon.
Then let's both run our joy about with laughing song and merry laugh. Let the throng our joy about with laughing song and merry laugh. With laughing song and merry laugh. With laughing song.